How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Crypto Clout. I am your host, FaZe Crypto, and today I think it's an excellent time to discuss the possibility of a 1 cent holo, which would be pretty monumental in terms of the cryptocurrency space. Also, I think that it's important to note that we saw this earlier this week. We saw this climb in overall cryptocurrency market cap, crypto, for the most part, a lot of them have been able to maintain those gains, which is a pretty happy indication of what we could see in terms of where crypto is going to be headed in the future. Of course, there's been not without its exceptions, plenty of cryptos have had sort of a pullback, but definitely interesting to see Litecoin been able to manage themselves at that beyond $40 level, which is pretty good, pretty healthy indication that the market is going in an interesting direction. But even we got some headlines talking about the 1 cent road, the road to 1 cent with holo, which is pretty incredible just to see these headlines coming out. And of course, I just want to start off the video by paying attention to we've seeing Jack Dorsey, the Twitter man himself, talking about cryptocurrency lately. Definitely always interesting to see these big tech giants with cryptocurrency on their radar. We know that it is something that they pay attention to, probably more obsessively than even we could comprehend. I mean, we make a video a day about cryptocurrency every single day on this channel, but these people probably are paying attention to cryptocurrency obsessively. Just right here, I mean, we got CNBC with this article, plunge in crypto set stage for Facebook and other tech giants to hire blockchain experts. And this is also something pretty interesting, because we've covered before on here how jobs in cryptocurrency and blockchain are among the most sought after now. We're seeing a lot of colleges offering classes with blockchain development. So we just right here, this is an interesting indication of why cryptocurrency's price might be where it is. Sure that a lot of these tech giants want to get themselves fully loaded up with a lot of new hires and as many smart minds as possible, which is probably one of the reasons why the value hasn't gone up. Obviously, we constantly have to talk about how the establishment is going to get theirs first. This is just sort of the name of the game. So it is pretty interesting to see how articles like these popping up all over the place now. Cryptocurrency and blockchain startups are winding down as the market mania fades, making their highly ranked engineers free agents. Pretty much business as usual, seeing these startups getting ground out of business, sort of the way that things go. These big companies, they don't want to have to compete with these startups. They want to hire them. They want to get cycle all of that into the way. So now obviously interesting to see, Facebook recently hired a group from the blockchain startup Chainspace, which are RBC analysis. This man says why the way to improve companies crypto exercise, and there's likely to be more hires like these up ahead, according to this article. Now, I'm not going to read the whole thing over to you guys, but definitely something to check out. And right here, analysts expect Bitcoin to climb higher before hitting resistance and potentially dropping, which is sort of, I think anybody could make this prediction, but the thing that really separates this one aside is the time frame that they've basically drawn up for us here. At the time of writing, Bitcoin is trading down, yada yada. But this quote right here, BTC, still leading bearish, and so I think personally, all I can really do is tell you guys what I'm doing. It was relatively sudden jump. Of course, interesting to see this sort of analysis. Now, I'm still filling my bags and obviously not getting too greedy, taking profits when I can, much like I'm sure I read the comments and it seems to be the general sentiment. But this is, again, why I want to talk about Holo, just because it's one of those really undervalued cryptocurrencies that has a different approach altogether. That's really something that we don't see too much, as far as what these altcoins have to offer. And as far as a cryptocurrency that's valued under 1 cent, Holochain's definitely one of those cryptos that definitely has huge up potential, which could really make or break the cryptocurrency space in terms of how people have been thinking, with their minds wrapped around the concept of blockchain. I think that something like Holo really could and would be an accurate idea of what the space would probably look like, in terms of price momentum and how we've been seeing these things go. And it's always interesting to see. I'm sure that there's people who are, taking that little bit of cream off the top with that 5% upswing, as people have been known to do, which is also pretty interesting. And of course, we've got some other interesting articles on here, in regards to election integrity, what Holochain could really mean in terms of keeping people honest. The 2012 campaign used AWS to avoid it. Investment that would have run into the tens of millions of dollars, and of course along the way they built and ran more than 200 applications, scaled to support millions of users. One of these apps and campaign call tool, and of course supported 7,000 concurrent users and placed over 2 million calls on the last 4 days of the campaign. So I mean, when we want to talk about Holochain, it's important to talk about real life use, and I think that's really the one thing that Holochain has to break through. When we talk about what this technology, and I'm sure a lot of you are getting ready to write a comment right now that says something along the lines of how we're basically, I mean, that's the name of the game for a lot of these cryptos, is to get themselves but I mean, cloud hosting market for distributed applications. I think this is along the lines of what we could expect to see, when cryptocurrency continues to start up. I mean, I've been paying attention to Holo for such a long time now, that it's interesting to see the community getting this new growth. Holochain, new open source framework for truly peer-to-peer applications. I think peer-to-peer is, I think people need to start thinking in terms of peer-to-peer as far as what cryptocurrency is going to bring into the framework, and more or less adapting these things into the fold. Their goal is to make cryptocurrency less scary. This was also another interesting indication of we've been seeing these mainstream like Boston Globe and so forth have been hopping all over the cryptocurrency things, all these different talking points and so forth, which again, it's definitely an interesting indication that there are moves being made behind the scenes. Obviously, the cryptocurrency hysteria has sort of died down relatively over the past 2019, but that doesn't mean that it can't easily pick up right where it left off. Of course, we're talking about the concept of mass adoption and a lot of these different things that are really happening behind the scenes, in terms of regulation and getting these things all fleshed out, which is definitely going to be making a pretty big wave, I believe, in the space with people talking about these things. This is sort of a funny make sure that you don't leave your cryptos on the exchange. Secure the bag. Definitely make sure you take DJ Khaled's advice right there. But yeah, so I mean, it's definitely interesting to see crypto like Holo, still under a penny. And I think as the technology continues to progress and showcase exactly what it has to offer, this could definitely be one of those cryptos. And I don't want people to miss out on it. So definitely make sure that you do your research when it comes down to these things. Obviously, remember, this video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. Obviously, this is not financial advice. Obviously, this video is just made so that I could voice my opinion, and I'm definitely paying attention to Holo. I mean, this tweet right here, you probably have many personas across your digital life. If in one network of peers, you can use your personal details in another network, your work details. And of course, this is, I think, Holo Vault puts you in control of how your information is used. This is definitely huge in terms of the development of the internet, and what we could see in the near future, and how the world of tomorrow is actually going to operate. I'm sure by now you've heard the phrase, if you can't identify the product, you are the product. Similar to old poker saying, if you don't know who is the sucker, it's you. All of the free internet services we use are subsidized by all these different things, selling data, all these different conversations, which definitely does tie into what we're talking about when it comes down to all these different indications that we've seen, coming from Twitter, coming from all in Facebook, definitely with who's definitely guilty of this sort of thing. So when we talk about Holochain, we really are talking about the next generation of what the public, I believe, is gravitating towards, and of course we're going to continue to see stuff in the headlines that continues to knock Facebook's reputation and the old guard ad-driven internet slowly but surely coming to an end, which isn't a bad thing. It's just something that needs to be paid attention to. And of course, Holochain could be onto something when it comes to being on the helm of that sort of first and foremost, and I'm certainly filling my bags when it comes down to it. But yeah, all that being said, if you guys are interested, you guys can connect with us on Twitter. That's at CryptoTuber if you want to hear more. Of course, make sure that you subscribe to us on the channel, and comment down below letting us know what you think about Holo. But I think as we see the old paradigm of social media like Facebook coming to an end, especially in 2019, platforms like Holo could easily be getting their day in the sun when it comes down to it. And of course, I think that that's a really great thing, because the internet deserves better. But all that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and make sure that you let us know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.